I am so appreciated by the kitties first thing in the morning, let me tell you here. Oh, good morning, Tux. Good morning. Hi. Hi, buddy. Good morning. You coming, Morris? Good morning. Hi. Good morning. Hi, Mart. I don't know where Stripey is right this second. And the chickens were here, but they've gone back up the hill. Hi, I'm sitting it down, bud. I'm sitting it down. Looks like I need to go stand my gnome back up this morning. But first, don't let me get distracted, chickens. They were down here, but then they went away a little bit. I doubt they've gone away very far. I don't see him. Ah, there he is up by the fence. Well, that's good. The less he has to come find me, the better. I didn't see the rooster in the yard yesterday, but I heard him over in that yard. I guess once he got over there on the other side of that stuff. That's just where he stayed. Hi, guys. Now, right this minute, I'm not seeing that Stripe followed me. Oh, he'll pop up here again in a minute. I've seen him, obviously, this morning. He's been in and out a couple times, and it's good. The kitties are wandering. There he is. His head is just around. I don't know if you can see him, but there he comes. I changed out my pillow, although I did it when it was dark, so now let me turn it. There we go. That's better. It's not the best Valentine's Day, but it is red at least. Yeah, the kitties, now that it's not as cold, they're not wanting to be inside quite as much. So we're headed up to Durham. I have a noon mammogram appointment. I don't see the doctor until the 12th. It's better to get the mammogram first. And yeah, that's going to take up a good bit of the day. Dawn is going to keep me company and drive up there. You know, obviously I'm hoping for a clean mammogram. And then next in line would be, don't call me back and cause me a lot of stress like you did 2 years ago this month. That was really difficult on me. And, you know, it's going to be a pretty day in the 70s today. So, yeah. We had talked about walking up at the Eno River Park up there. That's not too far from the hospital, but I don't know that that's going to happen. If I tell Dawn we're going, we'll probably go. If I say no, the appointment being in the middle of the day and the distance away that we are and stuff like that, I just don't see it happening. But maybe, who knows? I'm printing another plate of these leprechauns. This is how it turned out. This is an 8-color print. Look at that. I accidentally messed up one of them the first time. I had the wrong thickness, and it was my fault, not the printers. It was a mess up. So anyway, I'm printing some more. While 8 colors was a lot, Dawn did a color swap for me last night. Let me check the poop chute. It's always good to come out and just, it doesn't need to be emptied yet, but it's always a good idea to pull it forward in the morning as part of the check. There's one piece of filament where it's not supposed to be, but it won't hurt anything. So, all right. Stripe and I walked the front yard and put out the rest of the Valentine's Day flags that I have. I think I had exactly the right number. There's the windsock. Down below is I'll Always Love You in that flag holder. The boys on the construction, they are booming this morning over there. God, let them finish soon, please. Every morning it's like this. Hi, sweet pea. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hello. Hi, baby girl. There you go. You see, she got all of her blankies switched out, towels. Johnny says she really likes this one, and since it's red snowflakes and it is technically still winter, and red is for Valentine's Day, I left that. Hi, sweetie. Dawn's on a call. Well, Dawn and I, we made it into the car. Dawn had a last minute, we need you on a conference call now, surprise. He did great getting ready anyway. And I went and sat with Gray and got the video done, so that's good. Obviously, we didn't get our walk in. We didn't have time to do our walk anyway, and we'll get some exercise after the appointment. I don't know where yet. We're on time to get up to the hospital at 11:45. We go to outpatient services for the mammogram, and my appointment's at noon, so it's all good.
Yeah, and even if somehow we hit unexpected traffic or something, I could just drop Marianne off at the door and then go park and then come in.
Exactly. Yeah, I told Don he might want to walk in with me to use the restroom and just hang out in case they're running slow, but then he can just go back to Jules afterward because he can't come to the back with me for this anyway. But it's a pretty day. It's 65. It's 65 out there already. It's nice. It's very pleasant. It's supposed to be like 73 today or something. I didn't even bring a jacket. I have on 2/3 sleeves, 3/4 length sleeves, so sort of long sleeves, but no jacket. It was a no jacket day here. I'm liking it.
So I this morning when I was checking my email stuff, Marianne asked me to check the time to Duke Regional. And so I used my phone and I looked to see how long the trip was taking at that time. And it told me, but what was interesting about it is that it's always told me that this way was a tollway, but this time it told me it was $4.05 in tolls. It actually put the amount of tolls that it's going to cost. Now, I don't know if that's the suggested price or the transponder price, but
Right.
It's still, at least you know that it ain't free. It ain't a 25-cent toll. Well, there's none of those anymore. It's $4.05.
Yeah, I remember growing up back in the day on the Jersey Turnpike. You'd have to stop and people would throw the coins in as they went past the little toll gate thing.
Right.
Well, I think it would be nice now that Google has that, if when Tesla Navigation is offering you route choices, if it would tell you how much that route was going to cost. I think, if that data is available in Google Maps, it could be ported to availability in the car, I'm sure, through the API. So that would be kind of an extra added bonus for, let's say, for the holiday release for Christmas 2025. Let's put that on our wish list.
Yeah, well, it's possible Google's been telling you how much the toll's been for months. I don't know. I don't map that much. The navigation in the car does so nice that I don't use Google Maps very much at all. So yeah, I definitely hope that Tesla adds that, because remember, you can have the setting avoid tolls. So now the next step is, if you're going to take the toll route, show me how much the tolls are.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you can tell it to avoid tolls or not, and that's the only thing to do with tolls that the Tesla Navigation does at this time. But I swear, we knew we needed waypoints, and I don't know how we lived without them. And you can set that up in Google, but it's not as easy. It's really not quite as easy as setting it up in the car to me. So be careful when you get on over here.
Yeah.
It's not going to up your speed in a timely manner. Yeah, see, the Holly Springs Police, or Apex Police in this case. It tends to want to do 60 or 55 or something, and the speed limit is 70 when you get out on here, and I have to bump it up in Ruby.
Sure.
So let's see what goes on here.
Yeah,
usually our cars are exactly the same and have the FSD. There's really no difference. They're both hardware 3 cars, and
there's Sharon Harris.
yeah, see, it said the speed limit is 55, and the speed limit here is 70. We are off the ramp, and the speed limit should be 70. Still 55. If there's no, yeah, still, so you should probably just bump it up because that truck behind you is coming up pretty good. Although I know that she's doing 70, although she says this darn speed limit is 55. And this goes back to, you know, the road behind us just opening up within the past, what, 4 months maybe or something. I know time flies, but again, another thing is the navigation needs to catch up quicker to the actual road conditions, the Google Map data. What were you going to say?
Well,
now it says 70. It's seen a speed limit sign and it's updated it to 70. But it takes too freaking long.
Right. Well, I'm saying, watch when I roll the thing. It tells me 80 max right now.
Okay.
75
Yeah,
max.
this is totally new up here.
Right.
That standard and that max stuff up there in that corner. Well, I guess this goes back to a little bit of what I was saying is we used to have 3 speed limits in FSD, and now we can only see 2. We can see the speed you're going and the speed limit sign, but not the speed we told it to go.
Right.
They're trying to get us, I guess, to worry less about speed, and you know what? It's just not working for me.
Well, the reason is, if all the cars were autonomous, I wouldn't worry about speed anymore. But I got a 18-wheeler coming passing me right now in the right lane, and I'm doing 70, which is the speed limit. Somebody explained to me how that's supposed to happen.
Right.
That's because there's a person driving that. Now, if that was an autonomous truck, that would not be that way.
But you've told her to go faster, and she just won't.
Well, she's 73 now, so she's keeping up with this guy. And, of course, he just ran off the road, and anybody behind him has just got a bunch of rocks.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I would say, you know, out here, my experience is nobody goes below 75, and some people fly by at 85.
Well, I've told her...
75 is totally safe. What were you going to say?
Right, well, that's all I was trying to say. I've told her 75 is good. So she's hit the standard max
Now she's hit the standard max.
So
okay.
that's what's limiting us, is that my choice to only go 75 is what the limit is right now.
Yeah.
I chose to do that.
Well, 75 over here keeps, in the center lane, keeps you moving along with traffic pretty good, and the few outliers they get in the left lane, since there's 3, conveniently 3 and all is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sure we're just noticing this up here because this is the first time Dawn has driven Jules on the interstate at high speed since we got 1261.
That's correct.
And I'm still in Ruby, and Ruby doesn't have it. Of course, it wouldn't look like that. I don't know where they probably don't care about putting that on the vertical screens. If I had to guess, I won't see that. But yeah, so 1261 around towns is a little bit different than on the interstate, and that's why we're noticing some things today that we haven't noticed before. Well, from my opinion, thank God they have put the 3rd speed limit back up there, because I just feel like we really need to know all 3 numbers. I've said that at least 5 times in 5 different videos when it went away on Ruby. So I do hope I get that back, because I really want to know what she thinks she can do, what she's doing, and what the law says.
Right.
All at the same time. I need all 3 of those, so thank God they have added that back.
More data doesn't hurt.
That's right, and there's plenty of room on the screen for that up there. I do seem to remember this, but I remembered it this morning, that all the businesses in RTP, which is Research Triangle Park if you don't live around here, basically IBM and over time a bunch of other companies, did not have mail service, did not have mail delivered to them. So all the companies had to go to the post office, which I guess is over by the original Tesla location up here in that off of Westgate, and they had to pick up their mail at the post office and take it back to their company and then put it through their mail room. But today it was announced that they're going to start receiving their mail. And Don says, and Grok kind of agrees. I mean, Grok said a lot of stuff, but I'm still trying to get my head around it, that there are a few pockets in the country where there's no mail delivery, and it's a complex series of issues. And Don remembers a little bit more, but basically said that there's no houses in RTP. There's no residential people that need. That's an industrial complex setup area.
There's all big campuses. There's not little bitty mom and pop youth. There were covenants for you to develop in RTP. You had to follow certain rules, and those rules basically filtered out all the small stuff. You pretty much had to be a multinational company to develop an RTP. There's no local businesses in RTP. They're all multinational corporations in RTP.
Yeah, examples of other companies out there are GlaxoSmithKline, which might have been renamed now. I don't remember. The EPA is out there.
Government, though.
A government. There's quite a bit of government. Can you remember any others that are out there currently, or when we worked out there?
Well, there was Compact was out here.
Well, basically, IBM was the first complex off the interstate, and that's where we were headed. And the number of days we got to go out for lunch and drive around RTP was slim.
Shops.
Right. It's like, yeah, we'd have to go over to Highway 55 outside of the specific RTP zoning to get lunch, and we didn't have time for that stuff. The number of times we went out to lunch was really slim, and so that's why we can't remember. But just trust me, there's a bunch of stuff over there.
RTP is a campus of campuses. You get it? So it's like they wanted you as a big multinational company to develop a campus where you had multiple buildings and all these services available to your employees there by you. And then so RTP was a campus of campuses. That's what they were after. And typically all these campus type situations has a mail room. It handles all which little building, how you want to number your buildings and the office number. All that stuff is all up to the business to do whatever way they want. So all they did is, instead of having a mail person carry 50 bags of mail out to each business or each campus in RTP, they just told the company, just have your mail people come over and pick up the mail. And it was just that simple. I think that.
Well, it was a win for two of our congresswomen for the state that they got this deal through. So, yay!
Yeah. Well, I would think that it was a job saving. They were probably going to, first of all, everything in when this all came about, RTP actually, IBM was the first customer in RTP. They were the first company to sign up, and it was 1965. So back in the 60s, when this concept of this Research Triangle Park was developed and all these rules were written, nobody thought anything. There was no electronic mail, email. There was no FedEx. There's no UPS was around delivered parcels. But you have to understand, there was none of this overnight stuff. So all that has changed since 1965 till now. Now, email. How many actual first-class letters do you think IBM gets to this office? The only first-class mail they're going to get are going to be lawsuit notifications mailed out or that kind of stuff. That's it. They're not getting correspondence.
Right. Well, let's get into something else too, in that, IBM has its own internal mail. So if I wanted to send something to Boca Raton, I didn't figure out how to get a stamp on it and get it to the post office. I figured out, I put it in an internal mail folder with some basic information that there was a system to look that up. And internally, IBM would move it down to Boca Raton. So that probably had a lot to do with it too. IBM had its own bank the credit union that we use now used to be only for IBM people, and they started that for employees. So we had our own bank and we had our own mail. We didn't need outside banks and outside mail, but anyway, times are changing. I guess I don't know if it's for the better or not, but it seemed odd to me that there was a place anywhere in the US that didn't have mail service delivery, and I guess now I sort of understand the historical precedent of how that happened. We're here. We're on time. I'm glad I don't have to go in there today. I've been in there before. That's one of the MRI mobile, although permanently placed units. There's 2 inside the hospital, unfortunately. I know, because I've had it done inside and I've had it done in the mobile place. There's 2 inside and there's 1 outside. I think they have 3 MRIs at this hospital. It's 12:15 and I'm done lickety split. It looks like Don pulled forward after the person in front of him pulled out. I had the same tech this year as last year, which was great because, you know, I've had this done a lot, and some of the techs have a better bedside manner and some of them are more knowledgeable about what they're doing, and she's great. And she showed me the 4 images that she took with and without the implants in place. And, you know, my confidence level that she has good pictures is high. She says they will not read it until Monday. So I should go enjoy my weekend. And that was very helpful to know that. Well, we decided to come to West Point on the Eno Park to walk. It's only at 12:40, and you know, I want to work on my Valentine's Day decorations and I want to work on my Lego, but neither one of those things is pressing, time driven. Can't afford to take a nice walk at this beautiful park. You know, we end up coming here at least once a year when I have one of my appointments up here. So here's the park. But Don says, if you need a park map, snap a picture.
Yeah. Get alive.
We know where we're going.
Yeah.
We don't need a map or a picture. Famous last words, right? No, I mean, seriously, we're good. We used to come here often back when we were up here, more times a year than we are now. We had the kids up here walking with us. They loved it when we would come here. Actually, I brought them here and put them in the river one time by myself, even before dawn, with their friend from the old neighborhood, and yeah, they like that just fine. I mean, one of these days we'll get to go inside.
Yeah.
They still have their natural Christmas holiday greenery. I see magnolia and cedar and maybe probably some berries up there. But this is kind of new. It says John Cabe McCown, former owner of the West Point Mills, built this vernacular Greek revival house in the 1840s. Presley J. and Sally Mangum purchased a home in 1891 and lived here until 68. So we will walk by the mill today. Pretty neat stuff. I'm hot.
It's hot. It's a nice day.
Yeah.
Looks like the morning would be perfect.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a breeze. I'm not actually hot. So there's the mill. The actual water wheel is on the other side. You know, it's a sort of a similar setup to Yates, but not really, but sort of, kind of. They used to just let you walk inside of it, but of course people do dumb things, and so you can't do that anymore. You can get a tour, though. It's usually on Saturdays. And inside that building, it's just mostly just this big open exhibit area. I don't know. It's not as interesting inside the last time I was inside it as Yates Mill. So if I were going to pick a tour with this mill or the Yates Mill one, I would definitely pick Yates Mill. But there's a lot of scenic, you know, this park is scenic. It's pretty to look at. It would be nice to be here in another, let's just say 3 or 4 weeks. There's a lot of pretty daffodils around this old homestead here. And several spots in this park, like out at Sharon Harris, where people lived and they had planted daffodils. Oops. What I was going to say is Don and I decided to walk out over the bridge and look down on the river first and then come back and walk around the mill second. And that would have been a convenient house to live in, to be so close to the mill. Well, there's the view of the river. Sorry it's so noisy behind me. This is one of the major roads in Durham. It's kind of like Yates Mill. You try to enjoy the mill and all you got is all of that road noise. Maybe someday. I know it's electric cars with tire noise on the roads and wind disbursement still make noise, but not as much noise. Anyway, down there where those rocks are, this side of the dam is where the boys and their friend went swimming when they were younger. It's not very deep there, especially at certain times of the year, and it's just kind of fun. And they still let people do that, and they have music festivals out here. Brave people go up on the other side of the dam or on the dam itself. They're not very, I guess rightly so, they're not very safety conscious here. You can just kind of go where you want to go.
That's right.
Now back in the day when we would walk here, this wasn't all fixed out on this end. They did some additional trail making. It'd be nice, you know, walking on the ground is good. But the thing is that it's awful wet over here. And it wouldn't be good walking a lot of times. And here you can see the other side. This is why I don't stand and point in the other direction. There's the road. That's how close the road is.
Very similar to Yates Mill.
It's so similar to Yates Mill, it's scary. No, and just like every other place in North Carolina where we've got trails, we've got sewer system and water pipeline. The sewer, it goes down through there. But it's pretty wet, all the water runoff going down into the river. So if they had not, you know, well, I'll say paved in the generic sense, if they've not laid the cement that they laid down here, you'd never be able to walk over here without getting your feet muddy and stuff. It wouldn't really be good walking. There's the dam, and we actually decided not to follow the cement today and to take what was marked as a trail in this direction. Kind of neat how the tree fell across the trail here and they left it with that pretty rounded arch.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah, it's not too wet here, but it's, you see this is what I am. We'd have to move if we had this red clay in our yard.
Yeah.
I ain't living in North Carolina. The Sand Hill, we're borderline Sand Hills, Central Piedmont, so we have sand. But like down in Monroe, my dad's house and places not too much farther north from us in Wake County, they have this red stuff and it is disastrous.
Yeah, good for making bricks.
Oh God. Right, it's why we make so many bricks here. Don says good for making bricks. Well, this is, like I said, this is cool. We're gonna go this way as far as we can go. Check out the view of the dam. We've never been at the dam on this side. There's actually like an observatory place on the other side. They do lots of summer camps here and they have, you know, wood exploration. It looks like we can probably get across here if we really want to go and stand up on top of the dam. On this end of the dam. Don got me across. I just need somebody to hold on to their hand. I'm not as, you know, balanced as I was when I was younger. It's pretty sad. Don's 11 years older and he's more balanced, but it is what it is. Well, I'm really liking this, Donnie, because we got a new territory for us.
Yeah, this is new.
We've not been here before. Here's a balance beam, Donnie. Piece of cement. You know, you come and you do the exact same trail. It's just boring. When you come in here in the summertime and... Okay, I'm up on the dam wall now. You come in here in the summertime and there's a whole bunch of people be sitting up here on top of the dam and walking down there amongst the rocks and... Tell you what, I'm going to tell you, Don and I know just exactly how slippery that is down there in the water. It's fine where it's dry. Don't mess where it's slippery.
That's got moss on it. Man.
Moss on it,
really
baby.
Good.
Yeah. And it's pretty in this direction too. I am using the Pogo map to see where the routes are. I think we're going to keep walking along the septic tank And I don't know if we'll have to go back the way we came or not. Walked on that hill on the other side. I won't call it a mountain for my Colorado friends. Normally I would have said mountain. But anyway, usually we're walking over there, and that is a harder walk for balancing and stuff. Although this is nice and uneven for brain stimulation here. But anyway, Pokemon definitely shows there's a trail here, so. And that it loops around, so we're following it. If it was July or August, we wouldn't want to be on this trail. This would be stinking hot, and we'd be up there in the woods in the shade. Yeah. So at least we're choosing to take this new to us at least trail this time of year, which is the right time of year.
Yeah, well, the other side, we walked pretty far on the other side down the Eno.
Oh, yeah.
And it, it stays in the shade. In fact, I think we got down far enough to where there was a crossing point. I might be getting my river walks confused.
We're going to keep on going. We passed the loop turnaround point. That's just all in the woods, going to meet up with that cement trail, take us back the way we came. We've been out on the trail for 30 minutes, and of course we're not really plodding along. We're just enjoying the river and the water. But anyway, I told Don I want to go a little farther out. I know we have to turn around and go back the way we came. That's okay, etc., etc. Like I said, opportunity today being up here without having to drive up here, because it's like 50 minutes. And opportunity because it's not stinking hot. Although with I'll appreciate the air conditioning when we get back to the car. Right now I could have on a short sleeve shirt and that would be even better. Wow. It's pretty. There's a little bit of noise running water over a rock in this direction. We have to walk through the S curve before we turn around.
Oh, you want to go?
I want to go just a little. I want to go a little farther.
Sure.
It's too much fun.
Yeah.
We said we tried to be out here 90 minutes and we probably should turn around, but I'm just enjoying it too much. And Don's fixing to get busy a little bit with that contract, and this won't be as easy to just do, so take full advantage. Worst things that happens is I don't do much at the house except for feed us, but you know me, I'm going to do something.
Well, as long as you feed us.
Right. I just want to say that when we eat by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're only doing one meal a day, which for Don is a little bit more strict than me because I'm having heavy whipping cream in my coffee and he's just only having black coffee. But our blood sugar in the morning is down 10 to 20 points.
Yeah, solid 10, maybe 15, like you said. It's down at least
It's
10.
a noticeable difference, and we've done this multiple times, and we know it's better. Now, of course, it's better because we take the blood sugar at the same time in the morning, and it's just been more hours for our body to lower the blood sugar. This morning, my blood sugar was really nice, really where we want it to be, and that's because I exercised so much after we ate yesterday. So that's good. And the longer you can go with your sugar at a nice, not dangerous, but a nice low level, the healthier, right, for metabolic health. And so think about eating earlier. There's a cross there in memoriam of someone. There's lots of rocks here. Like I said, if you come to this park and you're going to go out walking around, this is not one of those we protect you from doing absolutely everything you shouldn't do kind of a park. This is where you can actually enjoy the park. So you have to use some common sense, which means I'm going to stop filming until I get to the other side, and then I'll show you those pretty rocks. We just turned around from that rock garden, and Don noticed there's another chimney, another homes.
Chunk of bricks down in the water, and now I see that it probably came from up here.
Yeah. Same as out at Sharon Harris. There's a bunch of old homesteads, and you'll find a lot of brickwork. You see the deer running through there. There's 12.
Easily.
Yeah, more than we see at our property. We often see 7. But that was a lot. Yeah.
I had seen some that caught my eye, and I told Marianne. So yeah, I would say there's probably 20.
Yeah, there was a lot. Huh. Well, in my life, out in the wild, I really want to see a screech owl. What I really need to do is get Dawn to let me leave on a light outside at night. They like to come where the light is in the evening. So people that have pole lights and stuff, they tend to like that. We have a screech owl box in our yard, but of course we've never had a visitor. Actually, we have 2 of them. And a barred owl box. Now, we've seen barred owl in the yard. Seen them a couple of times. Hear them all the time. But on my bucket list of native animals to run into, I want to see a screech owl. They would normally be very quiet. You wouldn't hear them like the barred owls calling until they screech. But I mean, just out there in your yard hanging, not as noisy as the barred owls. In my opinion, in my experience.
I'm very upset. I cannot change my Google Fit walk from a walk to a hike, because if you have to ford 2 streams, including getting your feet wet crossing on rocks, that's not a walk, that's a hike.
He got his foot wet because he was making sure I didn't fall. I really just need just the minorest amount of somebody's hand, and I'm really good about wedging my shoe in good spots and everything, but he kept me safe. He always does. Well, I told Dawn we can't come to the grist mill without seeing the water wheel. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that it's now non-functional.
I agree.
We have seen it moving before,
Yeah.
So that's a real shame, and I want to know what is up with that. And here's the water being diverted, or not being diverted as the case may be, to run through the water wheel. Well, Yates Mill is really lucky to have Yates Mill Associates and people that were willing to raise money to keep the upkeep of it. I mean, they had to drain the pond to fix the water wheel, to fix the chute.
Yeah, it was a multi-year.
It was, but the nice thing is that NC State owns that land in conjunction with Yates Mills Associates, helping to manage it, and they have some funding and a lot of people that care about it. And I mean, this is not seriously gone here, but it looks like it needs some help. I don't know what the tree preservation orange crap is up over there, but it doesn't seem related to repairs on the mill, which is more what I would have expected. But anyway, looks very gunked up. Maybe it got damaged when Helene came through.
Yeah, maybe so.
And I didn't, maybe I'll ask Grok or look it up. Maybe it was from Helene. See, when they rebuilt Yates Mill after Fran, they the Army Corps engineers came in and did a lot to make sure the water would be diverted better for future hurricanes and it wouldn't damage the mill. And it has repeatedly done exactly what it's supposed to do. Maybe this mill needs something like that. A little sad to see. Dawn's on a griststone, millstone. When you go visit these mills, you'll typically see the stones. It takes 2 of them to grind it. The whatever they're grinding, corn, wheat, whatever in between. Yep, takes 2. And then you'll see the gears and stuff. There's a few up there lying around, which is components that usually move in from prior mills or were discarded after a repair at the current mill and left lying around. We're headed back home. Dawn's all comfy over here.
Yeah.
I don't think we're making any stops. Oh wow! Is she actually getting in the turn lane?
She's doing it perfect. She's doing good.
I turned on the camera just getting ready to say, let's see if she actually is willing to exit at our exit. You'll remember on the prior couple of releases, she was not willing to get over.
That's right. She did well.
So she's doing what she used to do and now correctly taking the exit again.
Yeah.
Yay!
Of course, she's a little slower than the guy behind us, zoomed up on us, but he's got to slow down now anyway. So.
Well, she's doing 50. It was 70 on the interstate, and then this turn up here is 25 suggested. So
that's a good speed.
Yeah, it is quite the turn. That's not like that's a lie or anything. Woo, baby. Woo, baby.
Yeah, trust
Woo.
me. You don't want to go much faster than 25 around there.
Yeah, she got down to 35 or something there.
These are performance tires.
Guess what season it is? It's sweet gum ball season. Hi, Morris. We don't like that, do we, honey? Morris. Hi. So I've spent another couple hours working on Valentine's Day stuff. These metal ladies that were up there last year are back. My 3D printed door corner. Dawn has helped me graciously, I tell you. There you are. Say that again. Help me with this shelf. He stands up there and I hand him. It's really a two-person job. It would be up and down 10 times to unload it and reload it. Anyway, I'm much happier with this. Is the same stuff that was up there last year. The only thing is I think the shoe should be pointed the other direction. Everything should angle toward the center, but I didn't catch that while Don was up there. Over here is the wreath on the door. And I've got my Annalise installed back in the curio cabinet. I have a pretty good collection of Valentine's Day ones. And then you guys saw the wreath last night. It's really hard at night or during the day to get a good picture with the light coming in from the outside and taking the photo from the inside. And then at night, it just doesn't light up good with the lights we have. And yeah, so still got to put this away. And the stuff on it. The stuff on it, I've got a plan. It's okay. Swapped out the fabric down here. You know, that's really a lot. That takes 15 minutes at least to move stuff and put it back. But I don't move out that village until the Easter village goes up. And Easter's late this year. So we're just going to enjoy that for now. The chair with the robot dude. Don's doing some super gluing for me over here. And let's see how I added a bunch of stuff to the dining room table. I now have the Lego stuff that I've got, which is a few things, but humbly saying not that much for Valentine's Day. Although I've got two new things to build at least. Where's Daffy Duck? Maybe Daffy Duck is with Easter stuff. There was one rabbit in with the Valentine's Day stuff, and I'm like, no, you're not supposed to be here, and I put it back in the box. So Don's going to help me with the box for the tree. It's safe there, so I'm just pretending it's not there. Little People. You might remember I love Little People. Had that forever, 20 years. And so yeah, so the table is good. This has gotten things added, rearranged, moved around. I don't know if I'm keeping it there or moving it back in the other room, but whichever way, I can't move it yet, so it's just there for now. And I have help. I don't have Marty and Stripe in the house. It's so warm they haven't even thought about wanting to come in since I got home. But I am going to grab them. I sleep better when they're in the house. Oh, you have a company. You've got company.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to do bags 24 and 25 at least. It's 6:40. I'm not letting another night go without working on the museum. I don't care how tired I am or how late it is. I ended up doing 3 bags, 24, 25, and 26. It finished these white columns here in 24, and then 25 and 26 built the floor for the roof. These are going to be skylights. I like that. There's lots of dome work up here. So I'm stopping there for now, though.